What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Monday, March 23rd, 2026. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a very special guest that's on with me today. She formerly worked with the Phoenix Suns in a capacity for over 2+ years. She is now working with Hard Rock in a digital sense. We're going to be talking to Mallory Merz, and we're going to talk to her about her why of getting into digital, the media. We're also going to talk about her why of working with the Suns and what exactly did she do in her time in Phoenix. So, without any further ado, I introduce you the wonderful, talented, and the beautiful Mallory. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Chris. That was a great introduction.
Thank you, Mal. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And listen, I'm very excited to have you on here because I'm very intrigued to learn about you and learn about not only what you do, but who you are as well. And my first question to you is the same as it always is with everybody that's on the podcast. And that is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models or any inspirations maybe growing up? But ultimately, what is your why for wanting to get into the digital space, media, and also working with the Suns?
Yeah, so I think my why overall, I've worked in a number of different industries. I've gone from beauty and wellness to sports, and now I'm working for a digital app. But in all of those settings, I've always worked in creative marketing, and
Okay.
I knew that I always wanted to work in creative. So I would say that is my why. I really enjoy developing and learning about creative and how things are made in a multitude of aspects. So I knew that was the space that I always wanted to be in. So I think for me, it was I know my why. Now, how do I get into those spaces?
I love that. Now, growing up, did you always was dead set on doing creative marketing? Did somebody inspire you, or did you kind of fall into it? Did you want to be something else as you was growing up, or like I said, did you always want to know that you wanted to do marketing?
Yeah, I think I've always liked creative. So I did go to school. I tried out fashion design. I tried out a number of different areas
Cool.
before I actually decided on my major, which I actually went to school for business, and that was kind of how I found out about marketing. So essentially, I went to College of Charleston for business administration, but within that degree, you have to take a number of marketing classes. And I think that is where I found my love for creating and marketing. So from there, I knew that that was the industry I wanted to be in. But I think that I've always had somewhat of a creative side that I knew I wanted to explore as well.
I love that. I love that. And you mentioned it. You said College of Charleston. I would love to know, were there any other schools that you were considering going to, or was College of Charleston, I should say, your number one choice?
Yeah, so I actually did not consider any other schools. I think for
Mm.
me, college was never really considered in the first place. It was
Oh,
never something that I imagined even completing. I think the reason why I ended up completing it was because it was a personal goal. So I was living in South Carolina at the time, and I had really great family and mentors that kind of showed me that I was capable of doing it, and that college was even an option for me.
sure.
And that was how I ended up going to College of Charleston. And then from there, it just evolved going for business. And then I found I really liked marketing. So, yeah, no other schools were considered, but it worked out for the best, I would say.
I would say so too. I would say so too. No question about that. Now, it's a rarity that I get somebody on my platform that particularly gets to one school and pretty much goes there. And pretty much, you pretty much said that you did not really consider college. Did you not like school growing up, or was it one of those things like you was just like, I'm so happy I'm done with high school and I'm not even thinking about college, or it was just one of those things where it was just, you just couldn't find the right school, and then something kind of dawned on you.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you asked this question because I do feel like it's a topic that not a lot of people talk about. I do think it's a societal standard that you just go to college and you get a degree and you work a 9 to 5. But for
Right.
me, school was never easy for me.
Sure.
High school was difficult, and I just
Okay.
never imagined going to college. It was just never a topic in my household growing up, and so for me to have family and friends that really supported that and showed me that I could do that was really important.
I love that, and thank you for your transparency. I really do appreciate that. I was also the first of in my family to graduate with undergrad, and I went back this particular December and got my master's as well. So I totally understand that. Being that as a goal, because you go to college to find out what you want to do, and college is not for everybody. And then some people kind of sidestep it and they move on once they find out what they do. Some people find a trade and never have to go to college, and and it works both ways. It can go either
Yeah.
way for sure. I love that.
Yeah, and I will say I did go to college late too. So I did not go right out of high school. I took about 4 years off and ended
Okay.
up going back to school when I was 22.
I love that. I do. I love that. And listen, and I'm in my 30s as you are now as well. I believe so. So, and it's beautiful. It really is. To me, I think that's the best thing because I too took some time off, and I went back to school and got my undergrad. I think as an older student, you just have a better appreciation of life, college, and then
Mhm.
you also know what you want, and you know that you're not here to mess around, right? You're here to get the degree and you're here to graduate, and you just have a better understanding of what classes to take, how to go about classes, and stuff like that. Being in a college sense, I love the fact you was in South Carolina because that's one of my favorite places. I went to college in Georgia, so I definitely know about South Carolina. Hilton Head is one of my favorite places to go, as you know. Did you ever get a chance to go to Carowinds?
I have not been to Carowinds. I'm not huge
Mm.
on amusement parks, but I've heard it's a fun place.
Well, I'm glad you we got to that because these next set of questions are favorites. Okay, and I'm going to ask you some favorite questions, and you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. Okay, so here we
Okay.
go. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Ooh, that I like to cook. I love to cook tacos, I would say. That's probably my
Okay.
all-time favorite meal. Yeah.
Okay, now listen, Mallory. I'm not sure if you're still in the area, but if you are ever in Phoenix while I'm in Phoenix, I might have to pull up and see you. I might have to because tacos is definitely one of my favorites as well, for sure. I'm a huge Mexican food lover, so tacos is definitely something that I love. I love that. That's what's up. Next question. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
I would say favorite concert I've ever attended. I will say, as an old school hip hop lover, one of the concerts that I had always wanted to see was Wu-Tang Clan. So I did see Method Man and Redman in Charleston, South Carolina. So that was probably one of my favorites. And then Mumford and Sons, totally different spectrum
You
of
ain't never
genre,
lied.
but
Uh-huh.
they are amazing live. They are one of the best bands I've ever seen live.
Oh, no question. You named two groups that I absolutely love. Matter of fact, Wu Tang Clan is actually going back on tour, and I just heard that and saw that, so I plan on seeing them when they come this way. And also Mumford and Sons. I mean, two of my favorite songs of theirs is "Little Lion Man," which you know that song pretty good. I love that song, and then obviously "I Will Wait for You." "I Will Wait" is one of my favorite songs as well of theirs. So yes, if you guys haven't heard that, when this does post, you need to go YouTube and Pandora, Spotify, however you get your music. That's definitely two of my favorite songs of Mumford and Sons. They're a great group. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Spain. I recently went to Spain towards the fall of last year and by far fell in love. It's amazing. Highly recommend. Yeah.
Okay. How long was you there? And was that like a family trip, a friend's trip? What kind of trip was that?
It was just a trip for fun. I was there for about a week. Did Madrid and Barcelona. Both amazing cities. I think I liked Madrid a little bit more, but yeah, by far one of my favorite trips.
Okay, I'll definitely have to keep you in mind, Mal, and hit you up for some recommendations. I've never been to Spain, so I definitely would love to get some recommendations from you. And I just got my passport last year for the first time, so I'm going to be traveling all over the place. Jamaica is one of my favorite places, for sure. So I love Jamaica. I love hot weather, though. I love hot weather and good
Yeah.
beaches and good food. So I'm huge into that for sure. Okay. Now, Mallory, sorry, Mal, I'm a sports person, okay? So I'm going to ask you this two-part sports question. So here we go. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV? Favorite sport you like to attend in person? They could be the same sport.
Um, well, I will say I have been to way more basketball games than any other sport, so I would probably say I enjoy going to those, even
Okay.
before I worked in sports. Um, Honestly, I think it's a tie between basketball and football games in person. I think they're both just so fun to go to. They're energetic, there's
Yeah.
camaraderie. Yeah, I think that either of those would probably be my favorite. I would happily attend either game.
Mallory, where have you been, twin? I'm trying to figure out. We are in sync here. Like seriously, basketball is my favorite sport. Football is my second favorite for sure. Listen, I'm a huge Lakers fan because I grew up in California. But one of the places that was memorable to me was Phoenix. Going to their game, being able to do that, and outside of me possibly heading to Phoenix in about, I would say, a couple weeks. The Final Four is out there. The women's Final Four is out there, so I will be heading out there in a couple of weeks covering that. So yes, I look forward to every time I get to go back there. It's beautiful, no question. Okay, I'm with you on that. Last of the favorites. Favorite place you like to eat out at? Now I need some good recommendations because when I do touch down there, I need to know what is your favorite place to go eat at.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, being that my favorite food is tacos and Phoenix is known to have some of the best Mexican food in the country, I would say Taco
Sure.
Boys. It's a local taco restaurant. It's very authentic. It's kind of like a little hole in the wall in some of the locations that you go to, but they
Okay.
have some of the best tacos you'll ever have.
Okay, Taco Boys. I definitely, like I said, I would definitely have to say hello to you once I do touch down in Phoenix, but I'm definitely gonna make a stop at Taco Boys. No question about that, for sure. I love that. That's awesome. Now, let's talk about, and this is kind of a two-part question here because first I want you to tell me about your day-to-day operations of what you do now. Obviously, as a journalist, I'm a freelancer, so I make pitches, I call. There's a couple of teams that I cover for different networks, or if there's a high school game to go do for a different network or a publication, I'll go do it. But we bounce around. We have the flexibility of doing that. So nothing, no 2 days are ever the same for a journalist. I would like for you to tell me in your role, what do you do from Monday through Friday or for the week? And, how long do you have to work, and stuff like that?
Yeah, so being a project manager, I think that role is ever evolving, right? So typically, what my role consists of, at least in the marketing and creative sense, is making sure projects get completed and delivered. So, for instance, if you were to request a project or you needed something creative by a designer or a videographer, you would then send it to me and I would
Okay.
set everything up, send it over to the creators, and make sure that they are good to roll with it, and just make sure it gets completed on time. So essentially, that is what I'm doing, working with people to ensure they receive the copy that they need, that they receive the designs that they need, the videos that they need, making sure everything is approved and completed correctly. So that is the gist of a creative project manager. Now, that role does vary depending on what industry you're in and the company that you work for. So it can be a little bit more in depth with certain areas, and it can be a little bit less intensive in others. So, yeah, overall, that is the gist of a creative project manager.
So let me ask you, like, what is the range of hours? Because I could imagine that maybe certain projects take longer to complete. So give me like maybe what's the shortest amount of time you ever worked with a client, and what's the longest amount of time you ever worked with a client, like in a typical day?
Well, typically I'm not working with outward facing clients, so it's all inward facing. So
Okay.
essentially, I'm working with people within the companies that I work with to
Okay.
help them complete assets that they need. So it's not necessarily a certain amount of hours. I will say it's very 9 to 5 for the most part. There are
Right.
days where you'll have to work late to make sure a project gets completed or approved, or maybe something comes up last minute, especially in the sports world. You get a lot of last minute things that you need completed. So I will say it is at times can be very much like longer hours, but for the
For
most
sure.
part, project management roles are 9 to 5.
I got you. Now, talk to me about your role that you work with the Phoenix Suns. How did that role come about? What did you do in that particular role working for that sports organization?
Yeah, so I had been working for a beauty and wellness company. And that company actually did layoffs. They had done multiple round of layoffs, and I unfortunately was part of one of those rounds.
Sure.
So I really took my time to kind of decide where I wanted to go and what industry I wanted to be in and what I wanted to do. So again, I knew I wanted to do creative marketing of some sort, and project. I have experience in project management. And I really like the role. I really enjoy being a creative project manager. So for me, it was more about figuring out what industry I wanted to be in. And being someone that does enjoy watching sports, I thought it would be really cool to work on a sports team. So I started doing my research and ended up seeing a role with the Suns that came up that was right up my alley. It was a creative content project manager. So I applied, went through a couple rounds of interviews, and then ended up getting it, and then
Hey.
relocated to Phoenix for that role. So starting out, I was a creative content project manager. So I worked with the motion design team, the video production, and the video editing teams
Right.
to ensure that projects were completed. And then about a year into that role, I got moved to a different project management role. So I was working for the arena and the foundations teams with the Suns. And it was very much a lot of the same work. So I was still doing creative content, but it actually evolved into more. So I was not only doing creative content at that point, I was also doing digital
Wow.
project management as well as all of their print.
Okay.
So it had actually gone from just creative project management to full circle project management for creative, digital, and print.
And I'm intrigued because I love just like I said, when you listen to especially communicative type of jobs, there's so many roles within this communicative space, right? You talk about project manager, being a creative. I'm a journalist, but there's so many different roles, especially within a team. You know, did you have to work the team like hours? And what I mean by that is when there was night games or when there was games, did you have to be present at the arena even on top of what you normally work in a business type of a setting, a 9 to 5, or did you just do kind of like your 9 to 5 and you did your separate thing away from what the actual basketball team did?
Yeah, so our work was separate
Okay.
than the actual teams. So essentially, it was very 9 to 5, like in office type of work. There were a lot of times where we were working late or had to work weekends to push a certain
Sure.
video or initiative out.
Sure.
But it was never having to work the same hours as the team.
Got you. I like that. And this is a great segue, Mal. And the reason why it's a great segue is because now I want to talk to you about work life balance and also mental health. And the reason why I want to talk to you about those two particular things is because I've seen people in my industry of journalism walk away from it because of their mental health being affected. Obviously, journalism is every single day. We see the news all the time, whether it's news, sports, entertainment, it's always some kind of juiciness going on our television screens. But also, the time frame of it being every day. We don't get holidays off, right? You miss celebrations, you miss time with your family and loved ones. But that's also bleeds into the work life balance, right? We love what we do, but there's a price to pay for what we do as well. Talk to me about how you kept your mental health strong, but also still had that work life balance. Because you seem like a wonderful woman to be around. I certainly wouldn't mind hanging out with you, just based upon the conversation we briefly had. But you also seem very passionate about what you do as a creative. But how do you work in this industry and not be overwhelmed or burnt out?
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoy what I do, and I do feel very passionate about it. I do think, depending on the industry that you work in, it can be easier to have a work-life balance, in some industries versus others. I
Sure.
think in the sports industry, that industry, it is a little bit more difficult to have a work life balance. I do think, we always would say it is more of a lifestyle
Sure.
versus like an actual job or a career. Like you really have to conform to the schedule of sports and when projects are moving and when things need to get done and how quickly they need to get done.
Right.
So I think it's more so conforming to that sort of lifestyle. I will say a few things that did help when I was there was just having work friends. I think if you have office friends, it can make a world of difference for
Sure.
you to be able to talk to and I don't know, just be with on a regular basis. Just have friends. Where you work. I think another one is making sure you use your PTO. A lot of people just don't use PTO because they're so busy. And I think that it's there for you to use, and people need to prioritize that. And then just really making time on your calendar for things. Like there were times where I had to block off my calendar to work on projects or go through projects and make sure everything was up to date. So I think it's really just learning how to prioritize your time and make the most of it during your working hours so that you don't have to do that when you're off.
And let me ask this bonus question to you, Mal, and that's because, and I love the answer that you gave. And it does it help that you're older, and what I mean by that is, or more mature, or more seasoned in this particular role to be able to deal with something like this. Because I know for me, in my early 20s, I was not as mature as I am now, and that's just what it is, right? With work sense, life sense, and it seems like life to me has kind of slowed down a little bit to where I'm able to make better decisions. I'm able to have a grasp. I don't feel so overwhelmed. My brain is not going 10,000 different directions trying to figure out, oh, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. Does it help that you've been seasoned in this role for a while to be like, okay, you know what? I know what to do. I feel comfortable. I don't feel like I have to be overwhelmed.
Yeah, I think that that definitely makes a difference, just being
Okay.
older and having life experience in
Yeah.
general, as well
Yeah.
as the work experience that comes with it. I will say, a lot of people in the sports industry are particularly young,
Yep.
so they are trying to get that experience. So they are able to move that quickly, and they're learning on the go, right? I think the
Right.
difference with me is that I came into that position with a lot of life experience and a lot of career experience. So I was
For
able
sure.
to kind of decipher how to split my time, and how to prioritize uh, those, what was required.
For sure. The way that you speak, the way that you advocate about this, very composed. And that's why I answer that question because I've been in this for about 9 years as a journalist. And from year one to nine now, it's a complete switch of a mindset of a difference. And I just feel more comfortable now. Even though it's in a freelancing type role, I feel comfortable with taking certain jobs, certain jobs. I'm like, somebody else can do that. I just feel more comfortable. And like you said, when you go through things in life, it just normally matures you a little bit and you just get that type of experience. I love that. But again, a great segue because I want to ask you now about advice. You know, you do have a lot of people that want to be in the marketing space, that want to be a creative like you are, especially coming out of college. What kind of advice would you have for those individuals that want to do the same kind of job as a project manager that you do?
Yeah, I think that there's a few different things that I would say that could possibly help someone. I know with me, because I went to college late, I didn't do internships. I didn't have any experience other than my college courses.
For
So
sure.
for me, I think it was a little bit harder to get my foot in the door. So I think one for people in college, if you can get some sort of internship and start getting some experience under your belt, I would definitely recommend that earlier rather than later. And I also would highly recommend finding some sort of mentor. I
Mm,
know I
okay.
reached out I have two mentors that I talk to pretty regularly or whenever I need help or advice. I don't think you're ever too old to have a mentor.
For
I
sure.
think that you can always, learn from the next person and get advice, but they have been on my career journey with me since I got my first marketing project management job. And they really coached me through the interview process. They coached me through
Wow.
terms I didn't know about project management. Like they have just been life changing in my career journey. So I would definitely recommend finding some sort of mentor that you can stick with throughout the years. And even still, I'll contact them and ask them for advice or if I need a question answered. And they're always more than willing to help. And I would say that has been a huge, huge game changer for me in my career. And I would just say, lastly, just keep going. Like you're gonna get 100 no's on all of these applications, especially right now with the job market. It's not the best. But you're gonna get maybe one yes out of 50 no's or 100 no's. But that one yes can be a life changing opportunity. So I would say those would probably be my top three. I could go on and on, but I would say those three have made the most difference in my journey. So
Mal, you are speaking the gospel to Matthew, Luke, John, and Mark. There's no question about that. You are definitely talking the real. And the reason why I smile is because I typically say the same thing a lot to my high school kids that I subteach that ask me about journalism. I always say try everything, but I always say that listen, you're going to get a lot more no's than yeses than you will ever get yeses in any industry. That's just gonna happen because you never know what people are looking for.
hmm
So you can't really predict that. But all you need is one yes. Once you do get a yes, then you'll know that more yeses will come because of your work ethic and what you do. You have to prove yourself. A lot of people are in improvement mode a lot of the times when they start out, and then all of a sudden that starts to wither away a little bit once you start building up a portfolio and a resume for yourself. So I love that advice. That is such amazing advice, Mal. It really is. And we have reached the portion of my podcast now that we're going to play my interactive game. It's called This or That. It is a game that I like to play with all my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, and it's very simple. I'm going to throw some things at you, and you get to choose this or that. So, Mal, are you ready?
yes,
All right, here we go. Out of these two restaurants, which restaurant would you rather go in, sit down, and eat at? Longhorn Steakhouse or Texas Roadhouse?
ooh, probably Texas Roadhouse.
You like the Cinnabons, don't you? It's the cinnamon. Yeah, I know it. I know it. Okay, I'm with you on that. I smile too. I love the cinnamon buns. Can't get enough. Um, Next question: chicken wings. Which flavor would you rather put on the wing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Lemon pepper,
Do you like your wings wet or dry?
dry,
Do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
bone in.
So, are you a dipper? Do you like to dip your wings?
Uh, yeah.
Okay, now I've been told that you can eat wings with ranch. I've never had ranch before in my life. I've never had ranch. Do you dip yours in ranch?
I do.
Wow. Okay. All right. Cool beans. I haven't been that bold yet to try ranch. I have been that bold. I'm typically a person that likes to lemon pepper. If I'm eating dry rub, I'll just eat dry rub. I'll eat it naked. I want, or if I get it wet, put a little bit of sauce on that thing. But lemon pepper and barbecue is my two favorite. I do like buffalo though and garlic parmesan. I do like those two as well. I'm huge into that. Okay. These next five questions have to do with music concerts you rather attend. Okay, music concerts.
Okay.
So here we go. Which music concert would you rather go see? Beyonce or Rihanna?
Well, I have seen Beyonce, so I would probably go to Rihanna.
I would too. And just for the simple fact that she does not tour, I would love to see a concert of her for sure. I would love that. Okay. All right. I'm with you on that. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Ooh, I feel like you're trying to catch me here. Um, I'm gonna go with Kendrick Lamar.
Girl, and I'll say you on point like a period. That's what I would say. I would definitely say that. We are two for two in agreement. Okay. I feel like this one may stump us though, this next one. Which music concert would you rather go see? Brandy or Monica?
I would do Monica.
Yep, that definitely stumped us. I would definitely do Brandy, but it's close. It's like 52%, 48%. It's very close. But I love both of them for sure. Okay, here we go. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather see, I would say, Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs?
Probably Luke Combs.
Probably Luke Combs. Okay, I got you on that. I got you on that. Okay, here we go. Last one of the music. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Maroon 5 or would you rather go see Ariana Grande?
Ariana Grande.
You said that fast. Okay. Are you are you an Ariana Grande fan?
I don't know if I'm more of a fan or if I'm just, I mean, I know Maroon 5, but I think I just resonate more with Ariana Grande.
I got you. And this is a bonus question before I get back to this or that. If I'm listening to Mal's playlist on like Spotify or Pandora, what is the top three listens?
Oh, you're gonna get, I don't even think I can give you a top three. My playlist is all over the place. I'll listen to hip hop, I'll listen to R&B, I'll listen to country, Latin.
Okay.
Um, it's honestly all over the place. I listen to a multitude of things, so.
Mallory, you certainly are the type of friend that I wouldn't mind being around. Cause girl, you got it going on. I like that. You got your music taste and you're creative. I like that. Let's see if we can keep this thing going for this or that. Okay. Let's go to sports. Which sport would you rather watch on TV out of these two, baseball or hockey?
Probably hockey.
Okay, I got you. I like that. Now, which sport out of these two would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Bowling.
Are you a good bowler?
I'm okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, do you need the bumpers? I should ask that.
No, I can bowl without bumpers. I can hold my own, but I'm just not. I need like a round or two to warm up.
For sure, for sure. I'm the same way. I got you. Okay. I had to ask. There have been some people on this platform that said they needed bumpers, and I told them that is absolutely fine. We'll just put you in the kids lane. We'll put you in the next lane over, and we'll get you to slide, and we'll do that, and that's no problem. But you can't bowl on the same lane as me. We can't do bumpers on my lane. That's for sure. I'm with you on that. Do you like desserts?
Yes.
Okay, oh, your face changed. So yes, I
Who
definitely
doesn't like
agree.
desserts?
I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you. Okay. I'm gonna name these four categories. Okay. You have to choose one of these to get rid of that you'll never eat again. Okay, so
Okay.
here we go. First category is ice cream. The next category is cookies. The third category is candy. The last category is grouped together. So it's pies slash cakes. Which one are you getting rid of?
I would probably go with candy for sure. I'm not a big candy eater. So
Okay,
I would say candy is my number one.
I got you.
Um, and
No,
then
you're good. You're good.
I would probably go with cookies, number two.
Okay, cookies number two. Okay, well, so let me ask you this because I would have said candy number one as well. And I also would have said cookies number two. However, I probably would have. I definitely. It was a toss up between cookies and ice cream for number two. It was really close, but I probably would have said cookies. But I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite ice cream?
That changes with the season. So I would say right now, like a salted caramel is probably where I lean towards. But
Okay,
again, that changes depending on the season.
I'm definitely a cookies and cream type of guy. For
Okay.
sure. For sure. And then chocolate chip cookie dough would be my second favorite for sure. Those are my two go-tos for sure. All right. Now I want to ask you this last one. Are you a chips eater? Do you like potato chips?
Um, yeah, I don't eat them
Okay.
all the time, but I like them.
Okay. Well, it's the same format. I'm gonna throw four brands of potato chips at you. You get to choose one of these to get rid of. So here we go. The first brand is Ruffles. The second brand is Doritos. The third brand is Pringles. The last brand is Lay's. Which one are you getting rid of?
Probably the Lays.
Okay, I would have got rid of the Lay's too. Now, Mal, if you and I are walking in a grocery store and I say, hey, go to the chip aisle and buy your favorite chip that you like to eat, what chip are you buying?
Um, I would probably do some sort of like jalapeno flavor.
Oh, so you like that spice. You like that kick. Okay. Okay. I'm with you on that. I like that. I like that. All right. Well, listen, you got great food taste. Obviously, you did very good with this or that. I'm with you. I'm rocking with you right now. I'm vibing with you. This next question is called bucket list. The reason why it's called bucket list is because I want you to speak it into existence. Okay. So I want you to give me a top four list of clients that you would like to work with in the future that you haven't done yet, or what type of projects you would like to do.
Okay. I don't know if I have a list of clients, but I can give you like a list of industries I would love to work with.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I think I have always I did work in the beauty and wellness industry and I love skincare, so I would love to work with a skincare brand.
Okay.
I'm also very into fitness and being active, so I would love to work with some sort of activewear brand.
I love it.
I do love to travel, so any sort of like travel brand, whether it's like luggage or airlines or hotels or anything like that.
Right.
And then I would probably say, going back to the health and wellness, I do try and eat healthier. So maybe some sort of like healthy food or snack brand.
Yeah, definitely wasn't like that always for me, for sure. I definitely was not. But as of recently, as I've gotten older, I've definitely changed my eating habits for sure. I just was like, yeah, and I feel much better. Feel obviously lighter, which is great, and I feel really awesome. Glad I made that decision. I love the fact that you said that you would like to that you work with health and wellness is what you said. Anybody follows your Instagram, they know that you are a avid gym goer. You are somebody that goes to the gym and works out, which is pretty cool, pretty awesome. I love that. Um, so yeah, I think in skincare, obviously you're glowing right now, and that's just not the sun I'm talking about. I know it's sunny out there with beautiful weather, but you're glowing right now. So skincare is very cool and it's very happening and popping. So I love that. I asked you earlier about advice that you would give. But what is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Um, Ooh, that is a great question. I think it kind of goes back to some things that we talked about earlier. I think there's two things that really stick out. One goes back to kind of finding that work-life balance and having something of your own outside of work that just helps you be you outside of your role. So I
Sure.
think that that has been a piece of advice that was really good. Just having some sort of hobby, like mine is working out, having some sort of outlet to have that work life balance is really helpful. Um, and then I think another one that has always stuck with me, and I honestly use it all the time now, is it's just asking yourself, like, why not? Like, why can't I have this? Why wouldn't I be able to do this? Right? Like,
For sure.
there's never just one way. Like, there's always multiple ways to get to your destination. And that's something that I've really tried to encompass in my career journey and just in life as well is, well, why not? Why can't I do this? Why wouldn't I be able to have that? And if it's not obtainable through route A, well, what does route B look like? Like, don't ever
Sure.
let someone tell you that you can't do something, because you can always find a way to make it happen. And you may have to put in the extra work or the extra hours and really put in a lot of effort for it. But if you really want something, it is attainable.
Always more than one way to complete a mission, right? Just because I dot my I's one way, you cross your T's one way, does not mean that we have to dot and cross the T's the same way. They're still dotted and still crossed. So I totally understand that. I totally get that. And I love that kind of advice. I really do. I want to ask you this bonus question, and that is, can you give me an example of a couple projects that you've done that you completed that you was absolutely thrilled and satisfied with? Like, cause I know you talk about being a project manager, but what is a couple of projects that was memorable, projects that you did that you would never forget that you felt really good about?
Yeah, I think there's a few things that come to mind when you say that. Specifically, working in the sports industry, I had to learn a lot of new skill sets when I entered that. Although I had worked in creative, I hadn't worked as hands on with motion designing and video. So I
Yeah,
really had to jump in there and learn the process for those and be a lot more hands on than I had ever had to be. So I think a few things come to mind when you go to a game and you see all of those motion graphics on the screens in the arena, and every one is flashing something different, or there's a video playing. That was all stuff that had to go through the teams that I worked with. So I
yeah,
touched all of those in one way or another. Any of the videos, a lot of the videos that came out that you see on social media or in the arena, those also, I touched in one way or another. So I think those, just learning that new skill set and seeing those come to life and be played in real time, was really satisfying for me. It was a really big accomplishment for me to learn those, and yeah, just see people enjoy them and see it come to life. I think as far as, projects that weren't in arena, there were a lot of campaigns that I touched, that I managed, from ideation to briefing to project kickoff to project lifecycle and postmortems, and being able to say that I ran campaigns, month-long campaigns that included multiple, deliverables and events and assets.
sure.
Again, ranging from creative to digital to live event setup. Being able to say that I played a huge leading role in those projects, I think is something that I'm also really proud of.
When you hear the term project manager, or when I hear the term project manager, managing is always like trying to manage people, trying to manage different things that's going on with what those people are doing. Is overlooking, overseeing things. And that's a tough role. It's a tough role to have. It's a tough role to be in because it's not just about what you do, but it's also a responsibility of what others do for you. Talk to me about just being a project manager and sometimes what the stress can bring of being a project manager, because I'm sure you have deadlines. I'm sure you have deadlines that you got to get things done by, because people need to know the A side and the B side of that particular role.
Yeah, so I think to start, a lot of people don't realize that being a project manager is not necessarily managing people, but you're
Okay.
managing the project, right? So I don't
Right.
have a team of people that I manage, but I
Okay.
manage their projects to make sure they get done.
Right.
Um, that is, it's a very fine line between managing projects and then having to work with people to get those projects done.
Right.
So, I think that would be number one. I think there's also, it is a big skill set to be able to work with so many different people cross functionally. Project
Right.
managers typically have to work with multiple departments, multiple personalities, different ways
Yeah.
of working. So I think there are a few attributes that project managers need to encompass in order to complete their
Yeah.
job successfully. I think self
Sure.
awareness is one. I always say project managers need to have a lot of self awareness to be able to connect with people and looking at different viewpoints to see okay, again, if we can't get this project done this way or in this time frame, what is the next option, and being able
Right.
to present those options and put yourself in other people's positions is really really important. I think being flexible is really important, and then also listening. Listening is huge in project management. So
I love it. I love that. Now, I want to do some rapid fire with you. I we did this or that. This or that was choosing one or the other. Rapid fire is a little different. Rapid fire is the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay, I want you to shout it out with glee. No pun intended. Okay, so here we go. All right,
okay,
pancakes or waffles.
pancakes,
Okay, juice or soda.
juice,
Okay, ribs or chicken.
chicken,
Okay, favorite color.
um, mauve.
Wow. Wow. Okay, that is a first here on the Work Hard Play Harder podcast. Okay, I love that. Favorite TV show or TV series on Netflix?
Uh, Probably Schitt's Creek.
That is a badass show. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I love that show. I do. It's a great show. Good recommendation. Favorite alcoholic drink.
Espresso martini.
Okay, I've heard those are pretty good. I heard those are pretty good. Okay. Favorite sandwich.
Um, Chicken.
Okay, well, yeah, let's keep it plain. I like it. I like it totally. Favorite city to visit in the U.S.?
New York City.
Come on now, come on. We'll welcome you with open arms. Come on back. I'm with you on that. Uh, if you had a choice to listen to three songs on repeat or three artists that you would never get tired of, who would those three artists or three songs be?
Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of a range here because I listen to a little bit of everything. So I'll go with J Balvin, Beyonce, um, and oy, what is another one that I really like? Maybe Jack Harlow.
Oh, I like that. I'm really liking your playlist. Your playlist is pretty dope. I don't know if you know, because I'm gonna give you three in mine. This is a bonus. I would say Jay Z, huge Jay Z dude. I would definitely say The Weeknd because I'm a huge Weeknd guy. And then I would also say Ozuna. I don't know if you know who Ozuna is, but He's one of my favorites. He has a song called Sosa that's really, really good. So yeah, I like that. I like to move a little bit. I like to dance a little bit. So yeah, that's what's up. Okay, I'm with you on that. If you had a choice to go on vacation with you plus three others, so a total of four, who would you choose and where would you go? Now, before you choose these people, Mal, you could choose friends, family, or celebrities.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely taking my two sisters, so would love that. So that's two.
Yep.
Um, and honestly, I would probably take two of my best friends. Yeah.
I get it. I got you. I got you. Bring an extra one because you don't want to leave one best friend out. I understand. I told. Where would you go?
I am open to traveling. I think I have a few places on my list that I would want to go. I think Germany is probably top on my list right now.
Okay, I'm with you on that. Germany. I like that. Now, what is your favorite board game?
Um, Probably Monopoly.
I got you. It seems like it's been a while since you played a board game.
Yeah, don't don't
From-
play board
from that
games
point.
often.
I feel it. What's your favorite card game?
I do not play cards often either.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe not poker, Uno, blackjack.
I will say Uno is probably the most recent card game that I've played, so we'll go with that one.
Okay, we'll roll with that. Let's do that. Okay. I would say, what sport could you play that you would absolutely dominate in?
Um, that I would dominate in. Um, I don't know. I do not play sports.
I'm thinking, as fit as you are, and you looking, great, obviously, and health and beauty and health is great. I'm thinking maybe like maybe a running sport, or maybe like something along those lines. I'm thinking maybe I don't know, basketball. What? Maybe basketball.
Maybe basketball, maybe some volleyball. I played a little bit of volleyball
I was gonna say
before.
that. I was gonna say that. Volleyball, yes. Okay. Okay, I'm with you on that. Now, Mal, what is the sport that you would play that you'd be like, I'm absolutely terrible at?
Football.
Okay. Okay. I'm with you on that. So just no throwing the ball, no catching the ball, no running for the
Yeah,
ball.
football, hockey, soccer, you name it. I'm probably not great at it.
I
I
feel it.
enjoy
I
watching
feel it.
them.
I feel that. I know that. Know your lane and stay in it. Obviously, I'm cool with that. The next question that I have for you is, if it wasn't project managing, what other career occupation would you do and why?
I think if it wasn't project managing, I would really love to be still in the marketing realm. So, some sort of marketing manager outside of project management. Um, I think if I ever move careers, that is probably where I'll go.
Okay, I like that. Now, if they came to you and they said, Mal, you do such a great job with all these industries and companies that you do, which you do, that's the truth, no question. But we want you to pick just one industry to do for the rest of your career. What lane would you go down to be a project manager for and market for? Like, which industry do you absolutely love the best, and what you would do?
Yeah, so I think I would probably go back into the wellness industry, like the health and wellness. I think it aligns a lot with my lifestyle and what I enjoy. So if I had the opportunity, I would probably lean more so into health and wellness.
I love it. I love it. And listen, I have loved this conversation. I have definitely learned a lot about project managing on with you here because I knew a little bit, but I did not know a lot. But I'm so happy to talk to you about your why, and you can tell that your passion just oozes through the screen about what you talk about, right? Your project managing, your marketing skills. This is something that you've been doing for a while and been doing it in several places. And I'm very lucky to have you on my podcast because, again, it's a different occupation that typically I don't have on my platform because a lot of people are in media. Some people do work with teams, some people work with digital stuff and apps, some people do social media. It's just all different kind of jobs in this space. And I'm very lucky to have somebody as talented as you and as passionate as you to hop on here and do that. So, again, I want to say thank you for allocating your time to me to be on my podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder. And my final question to you is there anything else you would like to add about yourself, the job, or anything at all before we conclude?
Um, yeah, I think project management is a really good career opportunity for anyone that's interested in doing it. And again, just remember to ask yourself why not. So I think that would be my biggest thing that I would like to tell everyone.
Well, again, Mal, I want to say thank you for hopping on my podcast. You and I will most certainly stay in touch. There's no question about that. And I'm a new fan of yours. I'm looking forward to the future projects that you do, and I want to hear about them. I want you to enjoy the rest of your Monday evening and the rest of your week, and we'll talk very soon.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Chris.
Thanks, Mal.
Bye.